it's Mish. Welcome back to my channel, where I like to bring you guys along with me as I navigate my faith, fitness, and financial journeys. So today is day 11 of the 21-day financial fast that I'm on, where I'm posting a video every day from November 1st to November 21st. So today's chapter was geared towards leaving behind a good money sense for your children. And even if you don't have children, it's still something that the author suggests that you read, so that if you do have children or you do have nieces and nephews who are in your life, that you could hopefully apply some of the things that you know about finances over to them. And I like reading about this chapter just because it gives me something to think about until I have my own children or child. And it's just, starting off giving them the knowledge that you wish you had in certain areas, or things that you wish you had learned sooner and implemented those things sooner. Wish I had started budgeting when I first started working. Now, I did have bills to pay, so I started off paying part of my insurance. Every now and then I would give some money on my actual card note, and then I was responsible for my cell phone bill, and then I was also responsible for the gas in my car, as well as any lunch money once I started working consistently. So technically, I never really sat down to think about what a budget looked like for me. And I used to get paid weekly. I used to work at Burlington Coal Factory, which is now just Burlington. And not that I worked all that much, during the school year, but during the summer, I was obviously working full time. So therefore I was making a little bit more money. But I think I was more concerned about like buying shoes and then just making sure the bills that I had were actually paid. But it was never in the sense of what I'm preparing for the future, saving a little bit money leading up until college and all these other things. So I wish that I had budgeted a little bit sooner in life, and I think that things would have been a bit of an easier transition to me in some regards. But also too, because I didn't do those things, I also think that it served a purpose for me in truly understanding the importance of stuff and having references to compare them to my life before budgeting and then my life after budgeting. Another thing that I would hope to pass on or implement as soon as possible is just saving for my child's future. And for me, that is something that I think is so precious. And I remember once one of the coaches telling this story, he was just like, growing up, I just felt so poor, and my parents never really gave us extra money. We didn't do these things. But then he also said when he went off to college that his parents had gave him a large sum of money, and he was just like, well, where did this money come from? Because the way we've been living don't equal to this. And it's because his parents chose to forego certain things bringing him up so that they could provide him with a decent amount of money going off into college. And he was like, that's something, that I kept in mind. And, college isn't for everyone. And I get that, but I don't think just because college isn't for everyone, that automatically means that you shouldn't be saving for your child's future. So I would rather err on the side of caution and just, save that money. And then if we get to the point where your child turns 18 and they don't want to go off to college, they do want to go to different avenues, maybe you don't give them that money. Maybe that money then turns into something that you give them when they turn 21 or 23, 24, when they want a down payment on a house. That money can then go for things like that. I still think that it serves a purpose. So the 529 is something that I think about here and there whenever it's brought up. It's a conversation that I lean into, but it's not necessarily something that I'm seeking out right now. And I know with the 529, one of the things I did learn is that it can be transferred. So just say you have one child and then it gets around 17, there's no way that this child is going to college. That's just not them. They just want to go directly into the work field. So you can then transfer the name on whoever that 529 is supposed to be, or if you're somebody that's doing it for your grandkids, you can transfer it to a different grandchild. So that's one of the perks. So I don't know exactly what route I'm going to take in regards to saving for a college fund or whatever the case is, I don't know if it's gonna be a 529. There's just certain aspects about the 529 about, you know, which schools you can attend and what that looks like. And then also too, like, yes, it pays a certain percentage towards things, but depending on how early you buy it in advance, it's not like it necessarily covers the entire cost of tuition. It covers quite a bit. So those are things like, what other investment avenues can I go to ensure that I'm giving my child a decent start? And I agree with her 100% about not having to worry about college loans, because I have college loans here that came from graduate school, and it's just like, I would rather not. And that's something that I preach to my nephew now, who this is his freshman year of college. I'm just like, whatever you're doing, like, do not take the extra money. You don't need it because you don't have any bills right now. You just go to school, you go to work, and you pay the 2 or 3 bills that you got. That's not free money. You have to pay it back. And then once you do get a job, I'm pretty sure you're going to have other bills to accompany that. So don't think that it's just like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to graduate, and then my first year, I'm going to be making $55,000, and I'm going to pay off the $35,000 that I owe in that first year. Like, you still have taxes and you still have other things. And then while that's going on to a certain period, you're still going to be accruing interest on those loans. But anyway, so if that's something that I could preach, you know, to the people around me, like, don't go that route. And if college happens to take a little bit longer because, you know, you're getting grants and you're working and paying off college while attending college, I always support those people that went that route, who graduate debt free. But yeah, this is a chapter definitely for people that are in that range. Like, hey, I've always thought, like, if I was in a position where I got child tax credits and I got back a certain percentage every year, would I take, you know, 25 to 50% of that amount for the child tax credit and stash that away so that that money's already there? And whatever, you know, different ways to come up with how to save for your child's future and stuff that's gonna benefit them in the long run. But another thing which is about this book, which is why I like doing this on a yearly basis. So yes, I'm not in the position to really entertain certain things, but I feel being that I come back to this book on a yearly basis, it's definitely something where it's there. It's definitely something where once a year I know that I'm gonna be thinking about 529s, and throughout the year, as I said, I'm always open to hearing what people have to say about 529s, and then those that actually have 529s, and those are other little mental notes or things that I jot down so that when I do get to the point where that is a reality for me, I have a little bit more foundational knowledge so that I know the right questions to ask before starting something like that. But as usual, you guys, I want you to take the time to enjoy your own journey, and I will catch you guys in the comments into the next video. Bye.